It's the beginning of May 2024 and welcome back to Webb Lake Providence right here in Mt Juliet, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. And now that spring is in full swing, it is time for mulch.
But do you have any bags of mulch?
I have some mulching to do.
It has settings for edging, trimming, mulching.
I've got to mulch. You've got to.
Mulch, mulch, mulch. Well, I will tell you that one of the things I enjoy about doing these videos is I am constantly learning things from those of you that reach out to me. And this video is a direct result of one of those questions that came up recently from one of you that gave me a call. And as we were discussing, trying to figure out what is the difference between the HOA fees here in Webb Lake Providence versus the Webb he was calling from in another part of the country, it didn't take long for us to figure out, there's the difference. Landscaping and lawn care. In the community he was calling from, considering a move here to Nashville, they don't provide lawn care for each resident. Well, here in Webb Lake Providence, leave the mower home, sell the weed eater. You do not have to take care of your own lawn. What does the HOA include when it comes to lawn care here in the neighborhood, and what is your responsibility? Well, stick around because I'm gonna dig a little deeper, no pun intended, as to what is involved in lawn care here in Webb Lake Providence. Okay, here in 2024, what are the HOA fees? If you haven't seen some of my other videos, let me give you the quick rundown in the 4 series of homes here in Webb Lake Providence. The smallest single-family homes are in what's called the Franklin series, and those monthly HOA fees are currently $350 a month. Moving up from there, you've got the Hermitage series. Those monthly HOA fees are currently $364 a month. The larger homes in the Centennial series are currently paying $377 a month for their HOA fees. And the villa homes, which are the townhouse style homes here in the neighborhood where your house is physically connected to the neighbor's house, those HOA fees are currently $484. Now, for the detailed breakdown of why those villa HOA fees are higher than the single family homes, watch this video here. So Andy, what do you get for those HOA fees? Well, some of the more obvious amenities that are included in this neighborhood are the outdoor pool, which just opened. Hey, and we've got Cinco de Mayo celebration coming up this weekend. I'm looking forward to being a part of that. You've got the indoor pool and sauna. You've got the state-of-the-art fitness center. You've got the ballroom. You've got the library. You've got billiards tables and an arts and crafts studio. You've got a complete dance studio upstairs as well as an indoor walking trail. You've got miles and miles of outdoor walking trails. You've got an entire sports complex which includes pickleball, tennis, a half-court basketball court. You've got pedal boats. You've got a fully stocked 13-acre lake here on the property as well as a fishing boat that is free to use for you as a resident or a guest of a resident. You've got kayaks. You've got a full-time lifestyle director who is scheduling all of the fun stuff. You've got community gardens. You've got a private playground for the grandkids. You've got bocce ball courts. You've got a ridiculous amount of social events, including large parties, small informal gatherings, block parties, a list of clubs and organizations that makes it incredibly difficult to not get plugged in this amazing community. But when it comes to lawn care, what exactly are you getting and what can you expect as a resident here in Webb Lake Providence? Well, lawn care includes the obvious mowing of grass. You are done mowing your own grass or paying the kid next door to come mow your lawn, with one exception that I'll get to in a little while. But in addition to grass mowing, the landscapers are regularly going to be blowing off sidewalks as well as doing edging for all the lawns. The landscaping company also regularly treat the lawns for weeds as well as fertilize everyone's lawns. So weed control and fertilizer are included. The landscapers will regularly be picking up twigs and limbs, natural debris that falls from the trees, as well as fall leaf management and removal in the fall. Keep in mind, we have a distinct 4 seasons here in Middle Tennessee. So as all those deciduous trees start turning color and then eventually dropping those leaves in the fall, the landscapers take care of all the leaf removal as well. So it is a big attractor for a lot of folks that are moving into this neighborhood, that you do not have to take care of your lawn anymore. They also are going to prune shrubs and bushes. Now, there are some details to go over when it comes to shrubs and bushes in general. Each house has a specific list of shrubbery that came with the development when the original house was built. Beyond that, you are allowed to plant some other shrubs, plants. I know many of you have a green thumb. Get in touch with me if you want specific details about limitations on this. But just know that the landscapers are not going to be fertilizing, trimming, pruning things that you've planted. As a rule of thumb, they're going to take care of the things that were a common denominator for each house in that series. They're going to remove and replace dead shrubs, those that are the responsibility of the HOA. We just had this happen here in the past 12 months. We had a very unusual freeze last winter, and it really did in some of the plants in the neighborhood. A specific strain of cedar trees, for example, and some of the evergreen shrubbery did not survive this freeze. Well, the landscapers in the neighborhood have been systematically removing those dead shrubs and trees here over the past few months, and they are replanting new ones, all as part of the cost of the HOA. One common question I get is about irrigation systems. So most of the common areas in the neighborhood have irrigation systems in place, but what about each individual home? Well, some do, some don't. It was optional at the time that these homes were built whether or not to have an irrigation system installed. The same holds true for the brand new Del Webb neighborhood down the road in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can opt to get an irrigation system installed when you have your new house built. So the same was true for this neighborhood when it was built. Some homes ended up with an irrigation system, some did not. Over the years, some more irrigation systems have been installed, and on the flip side, some homes that have irrigation systems installed, when ownership of that house was turned over at some point and a homeowner said, "Do I have to use this?" and they found out that the answer was no, there are irrigation systems in the neighborhood that people just opt not to use. It is not an obligation to use an irrigation system here on your lawn in the neighborhood. If you do choose to do that, the water bill is your responsibility. And unlike places like down in Florida, we don't have a separate water reservoir specifically for irrigation. So it does affect your water bill if you choose to use an irrigation system. But there is no obligation in the neighborhood for you to use an irrigation system on your property. Now, what about mulch? Well, it is that time of year between April and June that the entire neighborhood gets new pine straw mulch. That means everyone's house in the neighborhood, over 1,000 homes here, get all new pine straw mulch, and it takes quite a while to get all this done, not only because each and every house gets new pine straw mulch, but all these common areas as well. So one question I've gotten from some of you is, Andy, what if I don't like pine straw mulch? Well, good news. You don't have to use that. You just have to let the HOA know at the beginning of the year that you don't want to be included on the pine straw mulch calendar, and you are responsible for putting some sort of mulch of your choice, usually a pine bark mulch like this house here. You can opt to put down a specific mulch, whether it's black, brown, red, in the planting areas around your own house, but kind of like when you plant your own plants, don't expect the landscapers to take care of it. If you opt for your own mulch, don't expect the landscapers to remulch or maintain your mulch that you have purchased on your own. So there are a lot of folks in the neighborhood that simply have a green thumb and they really enjoy taking care of their shrubs and plants outside. That's their happy space, and they really like to do that hands-on work, and they're working in their own mulch beds outside. Some folks hire third-party landscapers to simply do the work around their own personal homes. And you can buy as many bags of mulch as you want and maintain it around your own house. But if you opt not to use the HOA pine straw mulch, that responsibility for the year falls on you as the homeowner. But the main takeaway with this is when you move into this neighborhood, you do not have to lift a finger to maintain your yard and your shrubbery around your house if you so choose to just simply let the HOA take care of it for you. Now, one exception that I mentioned earlier in the video is if you have a fenced-in backyard. In black and white, the rules are if you have a fenced-in backyard, don't expect the landscapers to be mowing or maintaining your yard within that fence. So a lot of people have someone come in with a weed whacker or a small lawnmower and maintain that for them if they have a fenced-in yard. There are some workarounds to getting your yard taken care of inside that fenced area. If you want to get in touch with me directly, I can elaborate a little bit about that. There are also folks that they'll fence in their backyard for a pet or for grandkids or just for the aesthetics. They'd rather have a fenced-in kind of garden feel when they walk out their back doors. And some folks completely get rid of grass. They do mulched areas, or they do flagstone, or they do hardscapes. So there are some fenced-in backyards that don't even have grass within the backyard. It's all up to you. There's a lot of flexibility on the back of the house, a lot more so than what you're able to do on the front of the house. So if you want detailed explanations for what you are allowed and not allowed to do according to the HOA here in Lake Providence, please let me know. Now, the majority of the work with all this mulch, believe it or not, is all the common areas. There is a huge array of common areas that the landscaping companies do a great job maintaining in this neighborhood. So it's not just everyone's house, it's places like this, and this, and this, and this. Well, look, let me just show you a handful of areas that get new mulch every year in this community. I hope this information was helpful for you. I appreciate you checking out the channel. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell and you'll get notified when I post new content. I look forward to talking to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye. The landscapers will